This is a follow-up video to the video I just made about the wrongful death lawsuit at a restaurant in Disney Springs, which is part of Disney World in Florida. A woman went to a restaurant, had food allergies, told the staff that she needed a special menu. They assured her that there were no allergens in her food. Turns out there were allergens in her food. And she later passed away at the hospital because of this. I'll link an article down below if you want to read up on it, but I talked about it in the previous video. So basically Disney came back and said, you can't take us to court because you signed some agreement on a Disney Plus trial, which stated that you only can go forward with arbitration outside of court. And it got me thinking that I wonder how many other things I've signed up for have these forced arbitration clauses in them. And so I went and looked at my Disney Plus agreement, which sure enough, it's in there. Netflix, Prime Video, Amazon Prime, even like the Disneyland park tickets that we buy. So pretty much everything that you sign up for or subscribe to has something in the fine print that says you agree to like arbitration outside of court. What I did find in specifically the Disney Plus fine print is that you can opt out to these forced arbitration clauses. And I'll just read a little bit of it. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read enough to give you the gist of it. It says, you may opt out of this arbitration agreement via mail. If you do so, neither party can force the other party to arbitrate. To opt out, you must notify us in writing no later than 30 calendar days after first becoming subject to this arbitration agreement. Otherwise, you shall be bound to arbitrate disputes on a non-class basis in accordance with this agreement. So basically, when you sign up for these services, or say it's like a theme park ticket that has one of these clauses in here, you can opt out in writing, but you have 30 days to do it. To me, that's not realistic to have everything you sign up for. You have to go in writing, mail something to the corporation to say that you are opting out of the forced arbitration. It's interesting because when the lawsuit was filed, if Disney never mentioned this forced arbitration clause from the Disney Plus agreement, I don't think a lot of people would even know that these things are in like every contract you sign pretty much. So it kind of made, in a way, it kind of made it worse for them, because not only is this bad press, now everyone's kind of second guessing whether or not they want to sign up for Disney Plus or buy a theme park ticket. Not to mention other corporations, which now the spotlight's on them, like the ones I mentioned previously, like Netflix, Prime Video. People are going to be really looking into the fine print and wondering if it's worth signing away like your legal rights to go to trial just to have these services. And Louis Rossman did a real good like opinion piece on this, and I'll link his video down below. He always does videos regarding these things where corporations are trying to like hide things from consumers or not do right by consumers. And so you should check that out. I'll link it below.
Legal action.
Right. Sorry, me and my wife are having a discussion about legal things.
I was looking it up because I was like, what? You can't sue them, but I don't know.
We're wondering if...
I don't understand.
Does this... I don't think it... See, you know why? We're not lawyers. No. Neither of us. I'm not a lawyer. She's not a lawyer. She's smarter than I am, but not a lawyer. In my mind, this doesn't mean that you can't sue them. It just means you can't take the case to court, right? All right, my wife was kind enough to go and look up what arbitration is, because this is what these people in Florida are facing, and this is what you'll face if you have to bring a suit against one of these companies, whether it's Disney, Netflix, whatever, any corporation basically. So an arbitration is a formal out-of-court process where parties involved in a dispute agree to have a neutral third party called an arbitrator resolve their differences. Arbitration is often used to resolve disputes between parties to a contract, such as disagreements about contracts or personal injury cases. It's generally considered to be faster, more cost effective, and less complex than litigation. And in arbitration, the parties typically have attorneys go through a discovery process and may have hearings and testify under oath. It goes on to kind of explain it more in detail. So basically, you're settling outside of court, and the reason companies do it is cheaper and quicker. Is it right? No. I mean, I don't think that. I think you should have the choice as a consumer, but it's just the way it is with these legal agreements. And until something changes, it's how it's going to be. Like realistically for us, I don't think it's going to really prevent us from like having these services or doing things. It's just something to think about, like whenever you sign on to anything with like a big corporation. Just know that if something happens, I mean, heaven forbid, you have to go through what those people went through in Florida with the wrongful death lawsuit. Just know that you're probably not going to be able to take them to court. You're probably going to have to settle out of court because legally you signed away that right. And I just thought that I'd make this follow-up video to let people know that this is just the way it is until something big changes at like if legislation is passed to force these companies to leave out these forced arbitration clauses. But something to know, food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments, and that is all.